Welcome to the Arazi Group Regulatory Updates. Today's update from Singapore will cover the following. New draft of guidelines for the classification of standalone medical mobile applications and qualification of clinical decision support software that was issued and opened for public comments in July 2021. The new draft of guidance on medical device UDI system in Singapore that was issued and opened for public comments in May 2021. Third, the medical device grouping tool. And lastly, the guidance on change notification applications arising from the EU MDR, IVDR related changes that have been implemented since October last year. Let's discuss each update in detail. The Medical Devices Branch has released a draft on guidelines for classification of standalone medical mobile applications. This document draws reference from the International Medical Device Regulators Forum to provide an internationally harmonized approach in the risk classification of a standalone medical mobile application. In addition to this, the guidelines provide better clarity on qualification of clinical decision support software as medical devices, as well as the regulatory approach for such software. The classification of such devices will consider aspects such as the significance of information provided, the patient's condition, and existing guidance on risk classification of general medical devices and IVD, GN13, and GN14, respectively. Currently, there is no standardized identification code or a system in Singapore to track and identify the distribution and use of medical devices supply chain and healthcare system. A harmonized identification system is necessary to improve the traceability of medical devices. Therefore, the draft guidance for UDI was issued in May 2021. Singapore will be adopting the UDI system, which is an international system for tracking and identification of medical devices. The UDI information must be submitted to the Health Sciences Authority and published in Singapore Medical Device Register. Class B, C or D medical devices including in vitro diagnostics are required to be registered on SMDR, while Class A medical devices are required to be listed on the Class I medical device database. The implementation of UDI will be done in phases. Phase 1 will include 3 types of high-risk implantable medical devices, such as coronary stents, orthopedic joint replacement implants, and intraocular lens. The implementation date of Phase 1, 1st 2022. Phase 2 will include all other Class D medical devices, and the implementation date is November 1, 2024. Phase 3 will include Class C medical devices, and the implementation date is November 1, 2026. Phase 4 will include Class B medical devices, and the implementation date is November 1, 2028. If you are looking for the best way to manage your product registration in Singapore, Conslate, our global registration management software for fast and effective market access processes. The grouping of multiple medical devices for product registration helps reduce the number of applications required to be submitted, thus reducing the cost and effort. Therefore, the Medical Devices Branch has introduced a new tool that guides the grouping of medical devices for purposes of pre-market registration. This medical device grouping tool will help determine the grouping category that is most appropriate for your medical devices when submitting a product registration application. This grouping tool is in addition to the existing compendium of medical device registration and licensing self-help tools, which have been developed to assist the stakeholders and facilitate the registration process for medical devices. The European Union is one of 5 reference regulatory agencies that is commonly referenced in the abridged evaluation route for medical device registration. With EU's recent regulatory framework to medical devices regulation and IVD regulation, the related changes will impact existing registered medical devices, especially IFU and labels. Therefore, change notification applications related to EU MDR and IVDR updates were introduced in October 2020. This type of change notification will be effective until the end of 2025. This notification is free of charge and does not require an approval. It may be implemented immediately upon receipt of the acknowledgement email from the Health Sciences Authority. Bundled submission is also allowed. Depending on the type of changes, a notification might or might not be necessary. That's it for our update today. If you have any comments or questions, please do not hesitate to email or call us. Check the Contact Us page on our website for an Arazi Group office near you. Follow Arazi Group on LinkedIn to view other regulatory updates, as well as the latest advancements in regulatory affairs technology. Stay safe and keep well.